Hey folks, this is Sir Charles Gary, and I'm welcoming you to a Mindset Moment. Not only will I take a moment to share some tips, insights, and views that I have and things that are related to current events or current affairs, but I'm also sharing things that each and every one of us deal with each and every day. And you may have seen some photos from me talking about going in the studio and what I was doing, and this is a result of some of those pictures and some of those recordings. So again, I'm the guy that's always talking about mindset. I'm always talking about radiate the brain and change the game. And the reason why is simply because everything, every single thing, regardless of industry, regardless of profession, regardless of belief system, it all starts with mindset. All the inventions, all the creations that we've experienced, that we are using, that didn't make it, that have made it, it all started with mindset. And, I know there are many entrepreneurs in the world today, and that's a good thing because we all want to leave our mark. We all want to have extra income. We all want to do something that's significant or something that's special. And we should. After all, the United States of America, and I would venture to say that the world was built on that same premise of, having your own, creating your own, and then bartering with other people that had something different, something that maybe you needed or something you could use, for your necessities as well as maybe even for a luxury, what was considered a luxury. Farmers, all farmers aren't the same. Some farmers only grew rice or only raised chicken or only herded cattle. So the point of it is, that's the system that this country, America, was built upon. So nowadays, as we move into, or as we are in the 21st century, nothing's changed. If you are a coach, a sales coach, or a motivator, or whatever the industry may be, if you are a person that teaches people about social media, there is a way that sometimes it's not always about a cash transaction, but sometimes the bartering opportunity may present itself, because I may not have the money to take your sales course, but I can tell you how to take your sales course and turn it into a book, and you can teach me how you do your sales. And that's a fair exchange. They say that fair exchange is no robbery, right? So anyway, what's on my mind more specifically today is the fact that, as you evolve, whether you have a career or whether you are an, I guess, a entrepreneur, it's not always going to be your way. It's not always going to be your way. That's right. Especially if you're a teen, even if you're a parent, if you're a grandparent, you probably already know things are not going to always flow the way you think they should flow. And why is that? Because that's not how the world is designed. That's not fair. It's not likely. The law of averages says that certain things will happen for a certain period of time, and then by default, it has to shift. So you cannot bank on certain things going one particular way all the time. And then for many of us, we think about things going our way all the time. And when things don't go our way, we get upset, we act out, we're depressed, we're disappointed, we're dysfunctional, we lash out, we curse everyone. And let's be realistic, folks. Not only was Rome not built in a day, do you ever ask yourself, why was Rome not built in a day? Rome wasn't built in a day simply because it probably wasn't possible. Look at all the materials they used. What about the weather conditions? What about the manpower? Those, my friends, were obstacles. Those, my friend, were hurdles, things that had to be worked out, things that had to be worked through. So what makes your life so valuable that you should always have smooth sailing every day of your life for your entire life? It's not designed that way. Life's just simply not designed to flow in the course for one person or one group of people. Now, I know some of you probably say, well, there's the rich and the poor. Well, I can assure you that the rich have their days too, that things are not going well. Now, for us, A bad day for a rich person is probably a great day for some of us. But at the same time, the point of it all is each person that encounters what they call a bad day or a bad occurrence or a bad set of events, for them, that's a low. That may even be their bottom. So they have to learn how to get over that, get through that. And there's so many ways of doing it. For instance, write this down. Talk to someone. That may be an option. Number two, pray. That also may be an option. Number three, which probably should be number one, look at yourself and evaluate you. What is it that you do or could have done differently to yield different results? See, and the point of it all is, you know, if we can't be honest with ourselves, it takes that much longer for us to get through the issue. It takes us that much longer to understand what's going on in our world or in our life. And the more you resist, the longer it takes to get over that hurdle or to get over that problem. That's something that, you know, everyone has their own learning curve, their own learning rate, the I guess the time frame in which how quickly you can pick up something. But you know what? Regardless whether it's fast or slow, you better get it or you will get left behind. Um, Sometimes we have to understand that, you know, in our maturity, in our growth, in our evolution and development, that's where the magic happens, because it's through that pressure that we get an opportunity to really deal with challenges. And in dealing with challenges, if you've done any of those three things that I just suggested, you may find a glimmer, a glimpse of relief, a glimmer of light on the other side, and find a way of breaking through your challenge and making things work for your advantage. Now, here's another thing. In the midst of being able to realize and to identify and understand that things are not going to always go your way, there are some other challenges you have to deal with. And just like you may be watching this on social media, the truth of the matter is we get distracted. That's right. So that means that there are distractions which prevent us from really getting that education. And I'll be honest with you, because I know I've experienced it and witnessed it in my own life. If you are having distraction after distraction after distraction, there's a really good chance that whatever it is that you really want and you keep getting distracted not to get it, that thing probably has a lot of value. But you know what? You may not be considering that as an option, and you just may see things as, oh, wow, I forgot to do this, or oh, wow, I got sidetracked because of the kitty cat video, or oh, wow, which should I do first? My objective, watch the video that's about fun, or, you know, you don't know. Sometimes we simply don't know what we don't know. And in understanding that you're distracted, understanding that you're not realizing why you're not getting the results, it's simply because you have to learn how to be focused. You have to learn how to have discipline. You have to learn how to have structure. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not suggesting that you take your entrepreneurial endeavor and you forget everything except that. That is the last thing that I will tell you. But what I will tell you, if you're easily distracted, you need discipline. You need structure. You need to be able to know that the longer it takes for you to pay attention to what's important, the longer it's going to take for you to get to your goal, and the longer it's going to take for the money to come in to sustain you or for you to have the lifestyle that you want. And it really doesn't matter what industry or what profession you're in. I mean, multi-level marketing, brick and mortar, online sales, whatever it is, keynote speaker, author, you have to stay in the game. You really have to stay focused. Now, being focused and having a family is very realistic. You can have both. There's this thing called balance. But when you're supposed to be on, you must be on. That's the bottom line. You must be on. And sometimes that means you may need a coach. Sometimes that may mean you may need to listen to maybe a video on the subject matter that you're after, or on the weakness that you have. That's key. Write that down. Whatever my shortcoming is, I need to invest so that I can get better at that thing. Sometimes that investment may come in the form of money, and sometimes that investment may come in the form of your time. So whether it's getting a coach, getting an online video, an online audio, buying a book, going to a workshop, or going to a conference, these are the types of things you may need to do so that you can be more focused and be able to achieve your goal. And understand, Facebook, daily occurrences, crime, all of these things are real, but they all will not help you achieve your goal. And you have to be willing to do whatever it takes so that you, my friend, will achieve your goal. And if it's important to you that you make X amount of dollars, or that you have a certain amount of interviews, or a certain amount of whatever it is, the only way to fulfill that goal or to achieve that goal is to have discipline and structure. There's a lot of moving parts to becoming an entrepreneur, becoming a successful entrepreneur, and I don't pretend to have them all. But what I do know is that I will never give up. I will die trying to get to my goal. How much or how badly do you want to achieve your goal? So realize the way you may think things should be is not the only way. That's the first thing we started talking about. Life does not revolve around you, and it does not revolve around me. There are so many things we have to learn how to do so that we can become the professionals, or so that we can become successful in whatever endeavor that we're involved in or trying to participate in. Number two, distractions. Your distractions will frustrate you and make you give up on you. That's why it's always important that you radiate the brain and change the game. I'll see you next time. Take care.